Goed, welkom bij VMUG TV. Naast ons zit Michael van Hitachi Data Systems. Een persoon die geen Nederlands kan, dus ik zal zo meteen naar het Engels overgaan. You don't understand Dutch, right?
Not at all.
So we'll stay in English. And first question is, you've seen the VMUG, 700 people around here. What's your impression of the VMUG, and what's the knowledge of the people you spoke with?
I'm extraordinarily impressed. The people here are so knowledgeable compared to some of the other places that I've been, just around infrastructure. I think the guys are very dynamic in ideas. I think they're very dynamic in thinking differently. And what I've found is the energy and the enthusiasm amongst everyone is actually really impressive. So I'm loving it, absolutely. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
What's your role within Hitachi, and what are you doing what are you doing in the Netherlands besides of having fun and enjoying?
So I have a very unique position. I'm the chief technologist for virtualization globally for Hitachi. So I work in the product management area. So I'm actually responsible for all the hypervisor integration with all the hypervisor vendors with our storage and server and network. So I'm responsible for the roadmaps, all the development, the future development, and the prototypes that we're putting together. And that's my responsibility. I've just been fortunate enough to be asked to come because I like talking and I also like this. It's a little bit out of my realm, but they asked me to come to the Netherlands to speak to some customers, and they said, would you like to speak at VMUG? And I absolutely grabbed it. So I'm really pleased that I could share some of my knowledge and my views, and specifically in my role, because I'm very future driven, because a lot of the stuff we are doing is 3 years in advance, to share that with people. Yeah.
So you're enjoying, that's what I expect, yeah. And especially when you're looking to roadmaps, having conversation with VMware, with Citrix, with Microsoft. That's part of your role as well.
Absolutely, it is. So it's all the hypervisor technologies. So one of the things that we've really done at Hitachi in the last 12 months is really step up our investments and step up our focus into the hypervisor layer. So we're bringing that infrastructure up into the hypervisor and making sure that each one of those hypervisors have a best practices, have some form of integration if those partners are providing that to the storage and the server vendors, and making sure that we have that robustness for each one of those to get the best out of the equipment. And
is that, so you mentioned that you spent quite some investments. Is that because to be on the same level as the competition, or is that because you want to, of course, you want to stay ahead of the competition? Where is Hitachi from a virtualization perspective, the storage in this space compared to the others?
Absolutely. So we have been lacking behind. I have to admit that we really hadn't had the focus on the solutions and the integrations around VMware many years ago. So what we really did was just to try to, because most of our customers were already running it, and most of our business has been around the enterprise. So we really had everyone that we were speaking to was mostly happy. But what's been happening is, because more and more people are adopting it, and we're getting more modular boxes are using it more out of the enterprise, we're seeing now that we have to step up and we have to provide that level of integration, we have to provide that level of best practices, guidelines, documentation. So the investments we did was to bring us back up to par, right? Get that absolutely nutted down. But what's been really interesting is we've now seen the advantages of our equipment that we've had for years, that we've used for mainframe, that we've got this.
What are the main benefits then?
It's availability and performance. You know, we have seen an immense, we've had massive growth in our latest box that just went out called our VSP, our virtual storage platform. This box basically has blown all records that we've had in history. And we're trying to work out what actually happened. And what actually happened was a combination of things, is that people started to realize they need the performance and the reliability for open systems.
That's a big difference between Hitachi and the others from that perspective.
Absolutely,
yeah?
absolutely.
So from a roadmap perspective, what are the maybe 2 topics on the roadmap which are the most important for Hitachi in combination with VMware?
So basically what we're doing at the moment is we're really focused on the next version. I think what we are seeing with VMware is they've got some good ideas around redesigning and re-architecting some of the features within the ESX kernel. We're having a look at trying to maximize different ways of those ideas with our thin provisioning and with our replication, and especially the way we do our controller, our three-dimensional switch in our custom ASIC, which really trying to leverage how we can put the metadata on this part of the controller to try to maximize the performance. We're using our mainframe experience, being obviously a mainframe company in the past. We've dragged those engineers out of the closet, and we're really grabbing their experience because it's valuable with what we're trying to do with VMware. But it's not easy. Right, and also we want to make sure that the things that we are going to do is easy to consume. It's no good building something and then it's so complicated to consume, or that it has some disadvantage to something else that people are used to. Yeah. So
when I look at, for instance, VMware with Cisco and their VBlock, I see an alliance with AMC and with NetApp. Are there any? What are the alliances from that perspective with Hitachi? Are there alliances right now, or are there alliances in development?
Absolutely, there's both. We really started to focus with VMware in the last 18 months to 2 years. We've built an alliance organization that's specifically focused on VMware, so they're working together from a marketing and a go-to-market perspective together. From a development perspective, which is my area of product management, I actually have gone and recruited a bunch of people that has a specifically focus on development around VMware. And not only development, is we have a massive lab facility now with VMware engineers that we actually poached from VMware from their engineering team, so that we can actually leverage their experience. And so we're really building our capability internally. I'm loving it because the knowledge that we're getting internally from them and transferring it to our storage guys, we're actually working a lot better together.
What is the question I didn't ask and you want to respond on?
The market. I really think that I have a view of the world, and it's my kind of my personal view, but also my ability to understand what we're doing in the future. But I really think vSphere 5 is the turning point. I think ESXi as an embedded hypervisor is the absolute right way to go. I really think the developments that we've done with VMware ecosystem engineering, VAI in particular, I take my hat off to them. But what's really happening? We're really transforming into a very integrated, hardware-integrated hypervisor. And what does that mean? It means we really need to focus on enterprise-class workloads, enterprise-class storage configurations, and highly available infrastructure. That's what's happening. And all I can tell you right now is I'm seeing the customers and our joint customers who have been running mainframe for many years and running lots of mainframe on our storage, also using now VMware as a standard hypervisor platform, they want exactly the same infrastructure. And it's happening under our feet. And we are really under a lot of demand now to step up to make that experience happen and build that infrastructure so that it's equivalent.
Well, thanks for your time. Ik ga weer terug naar het Nederlands. Bedankt voor het kijken. En hopelijk was het zinvol, leerzaam en tot de volgende keer.